Okay, this guy writes, my date broke up with me after the 5th date. I'm 32. She is 29. Yeah, I think like 65% of the time or around there that women break up with the men. And what you'll often find is that the men just don't see it coming. Often it just relates to a lack of understanding about relationships, about attraction, about communication styles, how she's talking often in testing indirectly, and wanting you to basically figure her out, where he's talking more straightforward. Um, and oftentimes what you'll find is just he doesn't pick up on those signals that she's hinting at him to basically do something or step his game up. And then he's just clueless when it's ended, when the relationship's ended. But let's get into the post. So, hi, this is my first time I'm posting here. I'm probably on Reddit. I'll try to explain the story the best I can. English is not my first language. Okay, yeah. I met a girl on an app. We exchanged about 4 to 5 days before I offered her to go for a drink. Yeah, a little slow. I mean, you don't really need to talk about that much. It's like once you kind of engage with her, find out she's cool, maybe even talk to her on the phone. That'd be the best bet, or like on a Zoom call. Figure out she's cool and you're interested in her and she's interested in you. There's that high level of attraction. Then you just ask her out. And so you can basically do it in like 3 texts, and then get her on the phone. And then once she's cool over the phone, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes of talking, then just ask her out on a date. And you have a plan. You take the lead. You assume that she wants to go on a date with you. Hey, when are you free to get together? She gives you a day, then you give a location, a time, lock it in, get each other's numbers, say, hey, if something comes up, call me. If something comes up with me, I'll call you. But otherwise, I'll just see you there. Does that work for you? She's like, yeah, I'll just see you there. Boom. You've got it locked in. Then you go just show up on the date and have fun on the date. The first meeting went well. After the drink, she suggested that I go for a walk on the edge of the water and continue the discussion. Awesome. That's excellent. So she's suggesting another location. You went to multiple locations. You started like light and also probably in the evening with a drink. So that's good. So yeah, again, so far so good. And then also when you end the date as like a physical thing, like a walk, or like bowling or whatever you're doing, it's like it basically opens up the opportunity to initiate or break that basically physical contact barrier. Once you do that, it's just easier, therefore. So we chatted for 5 hours long. Woo. You make a move, you kiss her, or you just talk. Subsequently, we continued to write to each other, and I offered her a restaurant that she accepted. Everything is going well at the restaurant, and I have the right to text. And I have the right to a text afterwards, which tells me that she likes our evening. Okay, so they had a date that was super long. He didn't mention anything about kissing. Then she texted him afterwards saying that she had a good time. It looks like there was some. He's got his second language as English here, but he's like looks like there was another date in between there. It just seems like there's a lot of contact, a lot of talking, and there could be a little more space in this relationship if you want to kind of just like analyze this and make it into kind of like, I like it to think of it kind of like as an art form, really, that you can just kind of like mold into a relationship that works. And so it's like from my perspective to kind of mold this one into a more effective relationship, I'd create more space. And so it's like, because in that space, she talks about you to her friends, sometimes to her family, to her mom. And she starts wondering about you when she has that space. And when that happens, her attraction raises. What is it, like distance makes the heart grow fonder or something like that. But it does apply. It really does. And that space is as essential as that closeness when the two of you are getting together. Third date, we bring pizza to her house and we listen to Netflix. At the end of the film, we exchange first kisses. So that took a long time, dude. 3 dates to get a kiss. It's like you really should have gone for the kiss on that first date. All you had to do is say, hey, when the moment's right, and maybe she's like giving you the signals, or she's initiated contact, or like at least brushed you, and then you've initiated contact. What women often do is just kind of bump into you or like accidentally break contact. And then that's basically a clue for you to make a move, hold her hand, put your arm around her, kiss her. Or you can just set up with words too, or always go for that goodnight kiss on the first date, because it's like if she's not going to kiss you on the first date, her interest isn't high enough usually. Either that or she's like really structured in how she believes relationships should work or dating should work. But either way, it's like if that's the case, is you'd probably just move on and find somebody else that has a high level of interest. Or you could set it up with words. It's like, I think you need to get over here and kiss me. Especially in a situation where you talk like 5 hours on the first date, there's got to be so many opportunities for you to do that. So they had the first kiss on the third date. It's intense, but it stays that way because we didn't want to rush things. So I go home to sleep. Fourth date, we go to dinner and at her place. So it's like you're consistently going over to her place. So what does that suggest? That she has the control in the relationship, that she's kind of making the plans. You also suggested that she suggested to go take a walk. And so all these things are basically having her take the lead in the relationship, her kind of be the man in the relationship. And so it's like, this is something you really want to avoid. It's like, now you want to shift this to you're taking the lead, not she's taking the lead, because that's going to be a more comfortable dynamic with the polarities, masculine and feminine essences. If she's in her feminine and you're having her basically take a masculine role, that's going to really cause some problems in the relationship. And that's probably what contributed a lot. This and basically too much interaction is causing problems. And that's why she dumped you, seemingly so far from my standpoint here. So fourth date, dinner at her place. Supper goes on. We kiss a lot and end up sleeping together. Awesome, dude. I sleep at her place. I return home early the next day. Fifth date, last Thursday, we organize a day of hiking and we end up in a spa. She mentions to me that she likes someone she does this kind of activity with. So she brings up another guy. So in that situation, when she's bringing up another guy, she's like, well, and you're not exclusive. You say, oh, well, he can just keep you busy when you're not with me. To take a line from Coach Corey Wayne. But it just works. It works. And so it's like not getting attached to her that much compared to being like, there's another guy in the picture and having this huge freak out. That's going to communicate weakness compared to just like, oh, you can leave if you want. I'm going to be just fine kind of deal. So at the spa, she compliments me, tells me that I kiss well. We kiss for 4 to 5 minutes several times. Yeah, okay, we get home late, we listen to Netflix and are tired, so we go to bed. The next day, I leave her home. 2 days later, the date of the hike, I offer her a supper. She mentions to me that she has thought about it and that something is missing from her side. Yeah. So her attraction has dropped now. And what are you doing? Now you're trying to kind of pursue her, talk her into this. Or what she's doing right now is she's testing you. She's testing your strength. Maybe you've been displaying, which seems to be the truth, that you've been displaying more feminine, weak qualities that aren't masculine, that aren't taking the lead. And now she's going to test your strength by basically testing the plans. And so in a situation like this, to pass that test, how you do it is like, well, if you're not totally into it, maybe we could just do it another time. And you do the takeaway, and you walk away. So it's like when she's testing, oftentimes what her test will entail is her backing off, or her saying, oh, I'm thinking about not coming to our date, or, something's just not really right in the situation. So she's backing off. And that's an easy way to really recognize her test. When you feel like she's backing off, now what do you do? And the common guy, the average guy, what he does is like, it's like he gets fearful, starts chasing, is like tries to convince her to change her mind. When he chases, is like she just runs away more, and usually she's gone. Compared to, it's like, okay, well, if you're not sure about it, let's not do it. Boom, now you backed off. So she backed off, now you backed off, and now she's like, okay, boom, let's go. So just kind of like a negotiation one-on-one, simplified, and it really is that simple. So just recognize when she's backing off, and then back off yourself when that happens. So she says there's something missing from her side to continue, and ends the relationship. I'm a bit mixed up because he didn't know what she was doing, didn't know how to really lead the relationship. He's probably putting her in this masculine role, pursuing way too much, having her make the plans. I'm a bit mixed up with all of this because we were having a big conversation. Yeah, that doesn't work very well either. Usually, when you talk about all your baggage, deep stuff, it's just like creates associations with the other person, especially if you do it over too early. That are just kind of barriers, really. It's like it might feel good initially, but it just becomes a barrier and kind of a setback or a drawback from that point on. And everything seemed to be for the best. Thank you for your help. Yeah, dude, it's like you're having her take the lead. You seem to be in this passive role. You are initiating too much contact, probably talking way too much, probably going deep on basically your baggage that's going to turn her off eventually. Or again, it's going to make you seem not as really strong, or that you need her, kind of like this needy thing. Oh, I need you to help me through these problems kind of deal, instead of just being self-reliant. And then when she's basically testing you and backing off, you're pursuing. And then also you're probably not taking action as far as making the move. And so it's like you're going to her place, and so she feels like she has the power, and you're going to her place almost every single time. And you're probably, well, you're not being direct, decisive. You're not making the move. You're probably making her kind of make the move as far as kissing you, initiating sex. And so those are the problems that I see, that you could really clean up in your game, that really can revise your strategy, so that way you don't fail in the next time. So fundamentals, free in the description. Just revise that today. The other ones are $30 in ClickFunnels if you go through that. So again, click on the link in the description, and I'll see you soon.